Okay, WCJB ABC 20 News is here at the Interlachen Historical Society, and this is probably relating to a story that the Interlachen Town Hall is wanting to throw out the Interlachen Historical Society, claiming that they're a nuisance, we've heard, and I don't know how these ladies are at all a nuisance. You should never trust a town hall that would throw out its own town's history and kick them out onto the street. I promise you that.
The Interlachen mayor told me he was advised not to interview due to legal litigation.
All right, I'm here with Pat and Sharon from the Interlachen Historical Society, and they're going to tell us about what's going on about being evicted here from the old town hall building. So anything you got to say to let the audience know?
We got a letter in our mailbox saying that we were evicted. We tried to plead our case to the town council at the next meeting, but they didn't seem to care. And so we have 30 days to get out of this building. We got a $500,000 grant for it 21 years ago to restore it, and have been here ever since. We've had an historical society since the 1890s as the Sunshine Society, and we just don't understand why that they don't care. They don't.
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
I think people have been donating things in trust to our museum for us to maintain and take care of for years. We have things off the old stagecoach from the 1850s when stagecoach stopped, and we're just going to have to put it all in storage and hope that we can come up with something to do next. But we don't understand. We've tried to talk to them. They won't meet with us. There's a number of things going on in town that people don't understand. No one understands why they want to cut down one of the biggest, oldest trees in Jenkins Park. They just don't want to talk about things, and they say that we're a town nuisance. We've been complaining for 2 years about somebody coming in and messing with our stuff, using our bathroom, and they've never cared. But then just out of the blue, they send us this letter that we're evicted for being a nuisance. But you know, they started charging us rent. We started paying our rent 3 months and made a contract, and 3 months after we signed our contract to pay rent on the building, they terminate our contract. I mean, why did they bother with making a contract? Why did we bother having contracts if they can just throw it away?
Right.
You know, and we had signed that contract in good faith. People donate things to our museum in good faith. We just don't understand.
It certainly wouldn't work like that in reverse. If you had been the ones who violated the contract, it would have been a deal. It would have been an issue. So
yes, I'm certain it would have. And
we're going to have a meeting and a party to pack up and everything. When?
Well, let me say this one thing though, that a lot of people think is that we've had an historical society since the 1890s as the Sunshine Society, and into now we've got a $500,000 grant to redo this building. We don't understand how one town council in one meeting can throw away what people for 130 years have been building in this town and supporting. the other town councils have supported us. Many of our mayors have been members. And so, like Sharon was saying, we're going to have a meeting to discuss this this Tuesday at 4 o'clock here at this building, which is Interlachen Hall, 215 Atlantic Avenue here in Interlachen. And then this Saturday we're going to the Bartram Frolic in Palatka on the riverfront to save our museum t-shirts that glow in the dark. And then the next Saturday after that, which will be May 4th, then we'll have a moving party. We have to be out by the 9th, and so we're trying a lot of things. We've contacted our state legislatures and whatnot. They say that if we get signatures, we could get it on the ballot and bring it to a vote. And we just really don't think most of the people in town want to throw away our history. And
Oh, I certainly don't.
yeah, and so many people come in here donating things and just sit there crying about their grandmother, great-grandmother that loved Interlachen so much, or then other people come in here that donated things, or come in here that their grandmother donated this and was a founding member, and they're like 14 years old on their bicycle. You know, it's just like so many different people come in here with so many different energies about our history, loving our town, and it's just why we say that museum room is a room of love, not as much a room of history. That everything in there was loved, super loved by one or many people in this town. It was donated to this town, and people still love these things. And
Right. And I have made a video in there. I'll put a link in the description down to what they're talking, the museum part of the building. So
And check out our Facebook page, yes.
Interlachen Historical Society
Same.
on Facebook,
Okay.
and that's where we're posting our updates and things that we're doing. We have a lot of our Old Town pictures because in the 1890s, the Sunshine Society decided nobody was recording the history of our area and things were changing rapidly. They decided to go out and start recording history and getting artifacts and things, and so we are one of the older historical groups in the area because of the Sunshine Society. And then groups that are forming come to us wanting to know what we did, how we did, what we have, and then we say we don't know. That was 1890s. And then other people come using our archives. We have the archives back to 1835, and they come and they want to use our archives for videos and for papers and for books and various things that different people are doing. People doing college projects, school projects, and then Jerry Tusk is writing a book on, he wrote his Buried in Time book about Melrose. Well, he's writing his next book about Interlachen. In his Buried in Time book, we're working with the River City, River City Players in Palatka.
So where's that book available?
Right here, or from Jerry Tusk. He has Dunn's Creek, what's it called?
Can people get information about this book on your Facebook page?
Yes, it's on our Facebook. And
Okay.
then Dunn's Creek Fantasy is the name of his business, and he has written 6 books about our area history. And so Dunn Creek Fantasy is the name of his, and he's Jerry, Gerry, Teske, Teske. And you can just Google him, and then we have the books inside the library. We have all 6 of his books in our museum library, and for sale they're $10 a piece. And then we have our Interlachen Memories, the book of Interlachen's history, that's $27.
And again, on the Facebook, you can get this?
And we'll mail you the books.
Right.
But
Because a lot of people
t-shirts-
watching may not be from this area.
The
so.
t-shirts you have to get from us because it's just too short a time, and the t-shirts are too hard to sell. With the books, we have some really nice big bags with the train picture from 1916 in Interlachen, and we have postcards of Interlachen on our Facebook for sale, and usually tickets for our events, but right now we don't have any events because we've just been kept in such chaos over this rent
Right.
thing they were trying to charge us, and then we started paying our rent, and they just 3 months later started more chaos trying to throw us out again over being a town nuisance. And I don't know that it's wise to consider your own history a nuisance. don't
I
know
wouldn't
that's
trust
wise.
any town council that wants to throw out its own town's history,
And
for
we-
sure.
And it
That's
was,
coming from me, so.
yeah, so we just don't understand why that they don't want to do any sort of events with us, work with us on any sort of programs. We just don't
Yeah,
understand.
it doesn't make much sense at all, actually.
When we have plays and events, none of the people on the town council come.
Right.
and so they're not supportive of things that we do. And everyone else in town just loves our plays, and we work really hard coming up with really interesting historical plays. And like we had a tea that was well attended, and we have speakers. Our speakers are free, but our events we charge $15 for. All of our plays that we've done, they charge $45 a piece for them in on the coast over there in St. Augustine, but our people can't pay $90 for 2 tickets for something,
Right.
and so we'd rather bring the history
Not
of the
in this
nonprofit and have
economic climate.
and so we charge $15, and people come from over there because it's a good deal. But our people, $30 for a couple is a lot of money in our town, and
It
so
is.
we try to have many other things. Our speakers at our meetings every month, we have speakers maybe every other meeting, and our speakers are free, and we try to get really good speakers. And only if someone charges us to do a production do we sell tickets.
Right.
But many of our speakers have just been just incredible historical speakers. We had about the Paleontine, the animals that lived here, the saber-toothed tigers and animals. We had skulls and all sorts of
Oh,
bones
that's cool.
from them. It was really fun to see them. They were the skulls that were the reproduced ones, so that we could pass them around. They were exact copies. In the, what do you call that stuff? Femo or something. So we could pass them around and drop them, but they were exact copies.
And then we had heritage foods, and that was fascinating.
That was fascinating.
Recipes.
The history of the foods in our
like
area.
that.
The trees, how the trees came up and down during the different ice ages, and what to expect during a global warming period in terms of plants in our area. From the University of Florida, this woman was head of that kind of thing for Florida, and just knew all about it, and had all these slides of how the trees had gone up and down and what to expect to happen. And we had a number of people we'd never seen come to that were serious environmentalists, and we thought that was pretty cool. And we've just had all kinds of speakers. The railroad of our area, many of them are, then they're very different from each other. We don't ever have things that are, redundant, or anything. And so we had a powwow. Our powwow was very well attended by our locals, and many of the people particularly children, had never been to a powwow, and it was a historical powwow. It was about the history of Interlochen's Native Americans and the Native American community that was here. Interlachen is a Native American word that means center of the LOCH district. And LOCH, or locks, are small ponds and lakes that dry up in support of a larger body of water. And that's a lot of our small lakes around here. And so Interlachen, that was the name. They tried to change it to Blue Pond, but it didn't fly. There are 5 Interlachens in the United States that are all the Muskegon Native American names that are like the Great Lakes. There's one in Michigan. They're all the Muskegon names for lakes that dry up in support of larger lakes. And Micochuluco was the last king of our area, and this was a small trading settlement in here because it was between the 2 lakes. And Micochuluco was our last king. And Micochuluco came and was the head of our powwow, and told the history of our area from Micochuluco's standpoint. Jim Sawgrass plays Micochuluco, and he is the state Native American historian. And his wife,
he will be at the Bartram Frolics this weekend.
yes,
Right.
and have
Tomorrow.
his tent and all of his stuff.
Yes.
And his wife plays Millie Francis. Millie Francis is the woman on the Florida state flag that's driving the flowers, who, if you don't know about Millie Francis, you might want to learn about her. She, of course, gave a detailed history of herself and history according to her, what she saw in her time period. And Millie Francis, of course, saw a lot. And there is a serious reason she's on our flag. And it's a lot of sad stories, but it's good to know the truth. And
All right,
that's what-
well, I thank you, ladies. My battery's about to go.
Well, thank you.
Thank
We want to
you.
thank you for helping us get the word out and spread some truth about all of this.
Get a few eyeballs on this.
Yeah,
Probably not as much as ABC News that just left, but
Well, we're just wanting to get the word out,
All
and
right.
we appreciate everyone that's caring about us.
okay. Well, check them out on Facebook. The link will be in the description. And if you're in town or around, check them out at the Bartram Frolic tomorrow.
Interlachen Historical Society on Facebook.
Right on. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.